In the bottom right here, in the grand finals, in the blue, for Dragon Kites Gaming, it's Dark. And his opponent to the recent GSL finalist in the red, Gumiho. And I don't know exactly how things happen, but I can tell you in this game one, we're seeing a 2-Rex, and Gumiho is getting scouted immediately. And in fact, he was going for more than that. This was an attempted 3-Rex. He's keeping the SCV there. I think he's banking on. I think he might be banking on Dark committing a little bit too much. Now, he should get this barracks complete. Barracks number 1 is going to be done. Marines are going to pop out. Second barracks should complete here as well. So Dark pulls the boys, or pulls the drones, doesn't get much done. And with this extra SCV, you can repair your SCVs, but one SCV is going to go down. Second one falls, or second drone falls, actually. And as Marines pop out here, this is a lot of damage that Dark's taking. Marines are going to find their way into a corner. He's got to, if he gets 3 Marines together, it really is going to be valuable. But for now, 3 SCVs have gone down, and it's Marines by their lonesome taking damage as they try to kite away. A drone will fall, and this is a lot of mining time. Like, let's be fair here. This is a decent amount of mining time, but now the drones are on top of the Marines as they pop. But actually, this is this okay? Huh. Okay, so Marines now getting made 2 at a time. There will be no bunker. The SCVs have died. But 3 drones have died. That's a lot of mining time lost. Dark pulled a lot of the drones to make that happen. And now he's building Reapers. Kira's building Reapers behind. Dark has actually found himself supply blocked as well. That Overlord that was on the pillar gets knocked down by the barracks running home. This actually isn't all that bad for Gumiho. It's not great. Don't get me wrong. It's a very awkward game. But he denied so much mining time by getting those drones, by finding time to get a Reaper out. If any sort of Zergling speed is going to be very far behind. And he's got a full wall at home. This is not, and he's actually going to get more Overlords. This is not the end of the world here as this game continues to evolve. It really isn't the end of the world. The Lings will fall. The Overlord will eventually die. As the barracks finds his way home, Reaper doesn't die, never should. And there we go. I actually really don't hate Gumiho's position in this game, as odd as it is to say. He supply blocked Dark twice. And now we're in this state where it's, I guess, I guess Dark gas canceled himself one time. But at this point, Dark's been supply blocked twice in this game. He's lost an Overlord, he's lost some Lings, he's lost drones, he's lost a lot of mining time. I mean, if we look at the income graph here, Gumiho had about 2.5 minutes where his economy was in a pretty solid spot. And now the natural's done. It's now on location. Both barracks get home, so it's not like Gumiho sacrificed one of them for a scout. And behind this, double factory on the way. So this is cool. This is really cool. I think we're just gonna see a big committed all-in. There's a third bit. I thought we were going to see a big committed all-in coming out of Gumiho, where you're building 4 Cyclones at a time or 4 Hellions or something and pumping out Marines as well, but he's got a third base on the way. So that's 2 Cyclones. Is it 2 Cyclones, 2? This might be double Cyclone, double Hellion. We're getting a reactor. We're getting a tech lab. So Gumiho does have designs on Stim. So Clem tried something like this. He tried the double factory, double barracks build against, I think it was Dark actually, in an EPT Cup a couple weeks ago. It didn't work. He got his legs cut out from under him before anything happened. And I don't really know. I'm still unclear as to what the point of it was, but we're seeing it tried again. 2 barracks, or 2 Cyclones on the way at a time, 2 Hellions on the way at a time, Stim on the way. 3 Marines are going to be produced at a time here. There's a lot of stuff on the map. But the thing that's weird to me here is that this is with a third base. Everything feels like an all-in. But he's getting a third base behind it, so I guess it's one of those cross your eyes, dot your T's. or excuse me, cross your T's, dot your I's, where it's a little weird, but you're covering yourself. You're covering for yourself a little bit. You're going for this aggression, absolutely, but you're also giving yourself an avenue back into the game. But I feel like just generally you just want a full send. Even still, 6 Cyclones on the map, 2 Hellions, Marines being made, stim about halfway done. And you have to be very careful when you go for a build like this. You cannot lose these early units. You're looking to put pressure on right now, and then hit the hammer blow when stim is done. And the massive thing here for Gumiho is the Dark did not decide to go for delayed speed off of this. He said, okay, this is fine. I got to go Roaches. And Roaches are not incredible against Mass Cyclone. They're okay, and certainly when they have Roach speed, they do a little bit better. But when we have 6 Cyclones, 8 Cyclones, Marines on top, I mean, the Queens die so fast here. And if you're not ready, and I don't know that Dark's ready, it's a bit of a problem. That's a lot of transfuse being spent early on. 1 Cyclone will fall down here, but the Queens are starting to fall. Second one goes down, Overseer goes down, but the Cyclones, they're starting to take some damage, and the bio doesn't have stim until right now. Cyclones continue to get back, but another falls. And now, well, it feels like the energy's gone. The energy from the Queens, there is nothing left. 3 more Queens are on the way here. We 5 Cyclones, 6 Cyclones on the map. This army out of Gumiho is really hard to deal with. There's a ton of DPS, but the Roach is coming in from the backside here on the flank. You gotta kite away. And now with Cyclones going down again, this is one of those scenarios. They're not as expensive as they once were. They don't cost as much of a tank. They don't cost as much as a tank. But given the state that Gumiho's in this game, they're still expensive. And now Gumiho, 3rd barracks. eBays. All right. I feel like Gumiho just dies to the 1-1 Roach. It's the thing. Like, the idea is cool. We saw Queens die very quickly. We saw Queens die very quickly. That being said, I don't think it did not get nearly enough. And no Dark Step Devil the army supplies. 1-1's done. Roach speed's done. He's getting bling speed because why not? But this army, it really does feel like this is going to be enough from Gumiho just to end the game. There are a ton of Cyclones, absolutely. There are no medevacs. 1-1's not done. Combat shields aren't done. There are no tanks. There are no Banshees. Nothing kills these Roaches easily at all. I mean, I guess Cyclones are going to try, and we're going to have to see how well they do. But the army just comes pounding right on through. Biles won't really land, but the Marines are dead. Cyclones, well, Biles are doing a really nice job, but Gumiho's dead. Game 1 goes the way of Dark. And the upper left in the blue. He's up a game in this series, I think as expected, as their head-to-head says, but even still, it's Dark. And the upper right in the red, down a game as 2 racks didn't work. Gumiho. And he seems determined. By the way, we talked about head-to-head. We can take a look at our head-to-head. It's pretty bad. And 90% win rate against the GSL finalist is an interesting scenario to find yourself in. But it's 2 racks. Once again. And it's going to get scouted. Once again. Oh, sorry, this is 3 racks this time. And this is where it gets a little bit dicey here, because 2 racks game 1. This is something the Dark saw. 3 racks. Now he knows what happens. And this is a full wall, so you're not denying this. In fact, the drones, they're going to have to go back home. I mean, I guess they're chasing around because you don't want that SCV to have... I don't feel like you chase this, actually. The more well, it's going to get us onto the other side. But the SCV is going to get repaired. You're not going to kill the SCV unless Gumiho makes a mistake. This is buying time, though. Okay, actually, you know what? This is actually really smart. So what we're seeing Gumiho do here, first of all, he's getting some gold minerals, because why not? But what he did is he forced the Marines to spawn on the right side of this wall. That has bought him some time. That means the spine's now going to go up in the main base. 10 lings 10 lings are on the way. Queen's on the way. Queen's on the way to the natural to try to hold this down. It's a 3-Rex. It's not easy. But of course, and he knows this. Of course, that's why there's a spine on the high ground. You got to be so careful. And now this wall of the bunker as well. He's not going to get the full wall that he wants. But even still, 2 bunkers are going to go down. Second spine gets dropped here. Gumiho's committing far more to this game in game 2 than he did in game number 1. But Queen now is going to pop out just in time. Our first spine's done. But you're going to have to pick a timing when the, well, Marines can't dive on top of it. So there we go. Spine goes down, but it doesn't hit a bunker. There are spots in a natural where you can go and you can bug the range out a little bit. So the spine hits the bunker doesn't hit the spine. That's not where Dark is right now. He can't get in that position because the Marines are forward. They're not giving him that room. But now a second spine is going to be done. More Lings are going to pop out here. Damage getting done to the hatch. This is a timer, but okay. Here comes the spine rolling forward here. Marines, they're not going to get a lot of damage done on this, actually. So the spine is actually going to take a lot of damage. Queen should have transfused. Lings get on top of the extra Marines. And I think, is this spine? It might be in range of one of the bunkers. I'm not totally sure. No, it's okay. It's not in range of the bunker. Queens are taking, no, it is. Dark messed it up. This spine has the good range, I think. Spine on the left side has the good range, but on the right side is a little bit rough. I guess there's not enough creep. Dark can't quite find it. But at this point, we've probably held if we're Dark. There are 2 spines. There are 3 queens on the low ground. It's not easy. It's at this point, he should be okay. You still, I mean, Dark, he's building 4 overlords at a time right now. Is he? There's no Roach Warren. He was supply block, I guess, pretty heavily right now. So he's gonna have a lot of room in the supply. But also, this means that that's 400 minerals that he's not spending on Lings, on Queens, on drones, on whatever it is. I know they're going to try to dive on top of the spine. There's the repair, though. There's the heal. It's going to be okay. And, well, Queens, for now, they got to back up. Not a lot of energy onto them. 1 will fall. And I feel like I want to see Dark make some tech correction here. Move up, put a Roach Warren down or something. Because Gumiho is still committing to this. He is still going and building more Marines on the front here. Wants Dark to really make a mistake, to not commit as much as he should. And for now, I think that's what's happening. Dark is not, he's building more Queens, absolutely, but he's only building 1 of them at a time because he's got to get more drones. One spine's, this is a timing. One spine's uprooted, at least for the time being, but Gumiho doesn't see it. He doesn't know. Now, maybe. He sees the spine. There we go. He's going to try and dive on top, move up the ramp maybe, but Lings, that's a trap in the corner here. Lings on the concave, on the heel. Yeah, maybe a queen goes down, but everything else, oh, he's going to get a second queen. He's gonna get, he's gonna get the second queen, but that is gonna be the extent of it here. Queens in the main base will deal with the rest. Drones actually can get pulled to deal with, and there they will. So not much more damage. Not a single drone goes down. And Dirk holds on. I thought he had undercommitted just a tiny bit. And at this point, what do we got? Do we have the mech transition? 1 factory. Marines are going to look for the... Looks like Dark was thinking about taking the gold base too, but that's not going to happen. And again, we don't have speed, no gas taken. Dark purely on minerals. But anyway, starport, factory, 3rd base. All 3 barracks now floating right back on home. So Dark's going to double expand off this, but he's absolutely held at this point. It was dicey. It was scary. He's definitely lost some, but again, Gumiho's lost a little bit more. He's lost 28 Marines. And behind this, adding in the E-base, adding in a cup. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. He's going to do a double cyclone drop. That actually, and the 4th base gets canceled. Dark was not expecting this. He thought Gumiho was going to run back home because the run by was so powerful in game 1, but it's not going to happen in this game. So the 4th base does get denied again, although I think we're going to see Dark try to take the gold base. Now that the Marines, he knows kind of where they are. He knows that they've been forced back a little bit. But for now, double Evo, speed, halfway done. Dark adding in that gas as he can. Spine really on both bases so he can play very greedy out in front between the natural. So Hellion run by or something doesn't get a ton. The 3rd base as well, again, just buying time. Making it so he can play as greedy as possible. Even still, he's got 20 Lings on the way. He understands that there are timings that Gumiho can hit, especially as he's kept all 3 barracks alive. But there we go. 4th base on the way. at the gold base, kind of as we expected. Dropping the main base double cycle, but there are queens here, so it's not going to get that much done. Yes, you can snipe queens, but you can snipe individual queens. You're not going to get 3 of them. Hellions are going to ward that off, and now Dark seems like he's gotten away with his gold base for the most part. 1-1's a little slower than Gumiho, but it's going to be fine. And Creep Shred's in a wonderful spot. Anyways, 1-1. Again, just about done here for Gumiho, but I don't think he hits a timing. Certainly his stim is not going to be done in time. His combat shield, so it's not going to be a 2-2 timing. But okay, yeah, Dark, I like what Dark's doing here. He understands that this game, he has all the room in the world. So why stick on mid-game? Why wait for that? No. Infestation bit, slam it down, move into Hive. This might seem like a reasonably timed Hive, because again, we're like 8:30. It's gonna be a 9:30 Hive, but you gotta remember, this opened with the 3 racks. This opened, we stayed in the early game for 5 minutes. So this is a very quick Hive in comparison just to where the rest of the game is developed. But for now, Infester's on the way. 1-1 just about done. Ling's looking for the surround of the Cyclone, but you can pick up. It's not going to get that much done. And Gumiho's stim is now done. Combat shield's done in 10 seconds. 2-2 about halfway done, though. So the question then becomes, do you decide to go? And do you commit to the stim timing? Do you try to get active on the map now? Or do you wait for 2-2? Seems like he's going to get active on the map with stim. He's going to have a lot of Marines. Problem is, though, we've seen Dark. He's got Infestors. We saw what he did in that Cure series. Infestors are popping out just in time, and this army is just Marines. It's an 8-Rex. It's 14 Marines at a time. Now he's adding some tanks, I guess, but this army is 99% Marines. Well, we can do the math, but it's close enough. It's 14 Marines at a time. This gets annihilated by one good fungal and banelings. This is not an easy position for Gumiho to attack into, so he's going to try to go into the main. There are queens there. There's sport. Good luck. No, not possible. There are queen sport spines. Absolutely not, Gumiho. You don't get to attack into that one. And now Ultra Cavern on the way. Even before 2-2. Even before Adrenal. We don't have that yet. There we go. There's the fungal. Could have been better, actually. Could have gotten everything, but the second, I guess 1 Infestor died. Yeah, 1 Infestor died, so they weren't quite chained. Not quite as nice as you would like, and now 2-2's done. Gumiho's got that timing. 2-2's not quite done for Dark, not just yet. And again, this lack of Adrenal is a bit of a problem. You'd like to see it. It's effectively +3 for the Lings. But even still, this army continues to run forward. Creep continues to get denied just a little bit. And it's a long way back for the Terran bio. So it's actually, Gumiho's setting this up really nicely, as Lings are going to get on top once again, though. So he's setting it up, but even still, the pre-splits, they keep units alive, but they don't keep this push going as well as he would like. But now Gumiho's maxed out. It's 2-2 versus 1-1. But you got to be so careful about that Infestor on the backside here, getting ready, sharking around. And for right now, it's just the army at the front. But here we go. Dark, he's looking. The moment that Gumiho decides to stim everything forward, the Infestor's gonna pop. There we go. That's the clump. That's the clump, but he's not gonna pull the trigger because the Banelings are not there. They're not on the front lines. He gets the tank that he's gonna be okay with that one. 20 more Banelings on the way. This time, is this time gonna be it? Does he see it? Is he aware? There's your clump. There's your clump. There's your clump, Dark. Go for it, but he's not. There we go. Fungal, he misses the opportunity. The pre-split's good now, and Gumiho baited it in. He knew what he was looking for. He knew the timing. He wins the mind game, and all of a sudden, this pushing army moving forward. Queens on the north side are scary. 2-2 is done, but there are no Infestors in this army. It's just Ling Bane. Ultras, I guess they're starting. Yeah, one's on the field, but Chitinous Plating isn't ready yet. Gumiho, despite being down in supply right now, it's mostly an income. His army supply is really good. And we're going to see this Ultra doesn't have Chitinous Plating. It's getting healed. It's getting healed. The queens are doing such a good job. It gets shredded, but it lives even still. And around the corner, it goes Dark, though. That's the Baneling connection. Dark finally gets it. And it's 2-0 Dark. The bottom left and the blue down 2. Up 2, excuse me, it's Dark. And they have a right in the red, down 2 games. Proxying again. Gumiho. I do have to give Gumiho some credit, though. Game 2, it did look like for a moment he was starting to push through. He baited the fungal. It was looking okay. And then Dark just kills him anyways. As we see the 3-Rex attempt for the 3rd time. Dark, this time? Yeah, he should see it. Okay, yep. He sees the barracks. He's just... And he's gonna... Not only is he gonna see that this is a 2-Rex, this is the quickest that he's seen that this is a 3-Rex in this entire game. So, cancels the gas. Spawning pool goes down. It's gonna be the spine hold. It's gonna be the queen hold once again. Again, I gotta give Gumiho credit. He looked possible for a second, but just not enough. Dark is honestly, like, Dark was just too far ahead. And now look at the drill here on the drones. We're gonna see one SCV go down. Second one should die, maybe. Maybe. At the very least, it's 2-Rex with a 3rd Rex being bought. This is, yep. Okay, all 3 SCVs are dead, so there will be no bunker. The 3rd, and Dark just pulled. Pulling the rest of the drones, I don't know, actually. I think that might, if anything... okay. Well, that's a dead drone. Oh, the Marine will fall. I feel like pulling the rest of the drones like this when your spawning pool is done might be enough to put Gumiho back into this game. I mean, not really, but he does force it all back. And, I mean, if we do look at income, though, it's a Gumiho spike for quite a bit. That was only 8 drones mining for the rest of that pull. So I understand why he did it. 2-Rexes can get weird. Absolutely. But I don't think he needed to pull that many more drones. I think that might have been the small... Gumiho is still... Dark is still incredibly ahead. Let's be real here. But it does give Gumiho a small chance. Tiny bit. As for now... Extra barracks or extra command center is going to go down, but Lings get under the barracks, and that's going to do it. We said Gumiho might have a small chance, but the Lings say no, and Gumiho wins the or loses the series. Dark wins the series. There we go. Dark wins the series. 3-0.